Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
It may be the tragic end to a 2-decade-long friendship. A Fargo woman is facing a felony charge of burglary after court records show she stole prescription drugs from the home of a longtime friend. Documents say Lisa Skalicki admitted to stealing hydrocodone from her friend's house. Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer has those documents and joins us now with more. Melanie?
Yeah, Andrea, we were able to get our hands on these court records that say a Moorhead homeowner began to suspect someone was taking his prescription pills without his permission from his home. So he did something about it. He had security cameras installed, and that's what helped him find the person police believe did it. It was about 2 weeks ago when the security camera captured a picture of someone inside the house. It appeared they were wearing nursing clothing. The homeowner, who asked not to be identified, wasn't home at the time. But when he did get home, he checked his video and found the pills missing. But as a safety precaution, he had previously replaced the hydrocodone with acetaminophen. The documents go on to say that's when the homeowner called Skalicki. The two have been friends for over 20 years. The homeowner confronted Skalicki about the missing pills, and court records show she later admitted to being in the home and taking the hydrocodone. And friendship or not, if convicted on the charge, she could face up to 10 years in prison. Andrea?
All right, thank you, Melanie. Skalicki's next court appearance is scheduled for next month. Fargo police have released that charges have been dropped in the hotel stabbing case that happened over the weekend. Saturday morning, police were called to the American Hotel in South Fargo on a report of a man walking around the hallways with a gun. Police say they found 23-year-old Jacob Dirks lying on the floor in one of the hallways with an apparent stab wound to his lower torso. Dirks was taken to the hospital and later died of his injuries. We'll hear more from the family tonight at 6 o'clock on Valley News Live. We have been enjoying the quiet weather today, but it sounds like it'll be changing overnight. Hutch, how does this evening look?
This evening is looking high and dry for all locations. The satellite showing nary a cloud in our area. A little bit of a thunder shower forming just off to the east of Wadena County now, and that is about it. Temperatures in the 80s for our southern counties, on a lot of 70s up north for a beautiful late summer day. Here is a look at your planner for this evening. Temperatures slipping into the 60s. Crystal clear in Fargo with light winds, just perfect for any outdoor activities. Grand Forks likewise, but a few more clouds in the late night hours will develop up north. And it will be up north in the late overnight hours where we'll have a chance for some strong thunderstorms in the dark shade of green from Minot through Grand Forks and points north. I'll have the timing on this, but many areas not seeing anything during the overnight, but up north we could have some storms producing some hail tonight. I'll have details in a few minutes.
Okay, thanks, Hutch. A judge has set bond at $100,000 for a Grand Forks man accused of killing a 5-month-old girl. The judge also decided that 18-year-old Mason Komrowski cannot be with anyone under the age of 18. Komrowski is charged with a double-A felony for the murder of his girlfriend's baby, Brinley Reimer. Authorities say it happened in an apartment building on the 3600 block of Landico Lane on May 21st. The state's attorney says the autopsy report shows the death is a homicide and that the baby died from a traumatic brain injury the next day, May 22nd. Komrowski is currently behind bars in the Grand Forks County Correctional Center. His next hearing is set for October 15th at 9 a.m. in Grand Forks County District Court. Police are still searching for a suspect after a man was shot and killed this morning in southeast Rochester. Police say someone who had been sleeping called 911 from a trailer after hearing one gunshot. When first responders arrived, they found a white man believed to be in his 30s who had been shot in the face around 4 a.m. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Police say it's believed someone knocked and the victim was shot when he opened the door. Police have released the name of a Fargo woman after she was arrested for making threats with a gun. 47-year-old Jennifer Thomas of Fargo is facing charges of threats of violence, disorderly conduct, assault on a police officer, and possession of a fake gun. Officers were called last night about a suicidal woman with a handgun at Buffalo Wild Wings, telling people they should leave the building. Some customers and employees left, but the first officer on the scene was told the suspect was still inside and was cornering other staff members. Police went into that Moorhead restaurant and took the suspect into custody without incident. They recovered a fake gun. No one was hurt. Authorities in Polk County are looking for a driver who ditched their vehicle in a farm field while trying to avoid a deputy. Sunday, shortly after midnight, a Polk County deputy found a car in a field in Lowell Township on County Road 61. The driver took off into the field with the headlights off, and the driver went after them. The deputy lost track of the vehicle but was able to follow the tracks left in the field. Authorities later found the car in a culvert. The driver had crashed and then ran from the scene. The rate of death by suicide jumped by 58% in North Dakota between 1999 and 2016, the largest statewide increase in the country. To help raise awareness and reduce the number of suicide deaths, events are being held across the nation today for World Suicide Prevention Day. Valley News Team's Joseph Ojo spoke with leaders in our area who are working to find ways to tackle this public health emergency.
Chief Yonke and the many first responders on hand at the statewide summit held today know all too well about suicide calls.
Yeah, it's a reality of what we face nearly daily basis of people threatening to commit suicide or actually, unfortunately, committing suicide. And
because Senator Heidi Heitkamp put together the summit to help reduce the number of deaths by suicide, several caregivers and first responders felt this makes a big difference because now those contemplating suicide can have better conversation with responders to get them the help they need.
And we are losing people too young. We're losing some of our grandpas and grandmas. It cuts across all socioeconomic lines. It cuts across gender.
Having a strategy to tackle the issue of suicide is what Heitkamp stresses. And she says that by better understanding the science and early identification signs, it will remove the stigma and help the public crisis in the state.
I think that we're woefully short in behavior and mental health services. And that's going to continue until we make an absolute commitment to changing outcomes.
One point brought up throughout the summit was how suicide can be thought about at any age.
One of the things that happens in the brain, or we believe, is that people become increasingly focused and they lose the perspective to be able to say, but there's good reasons to stay alive.
And for parents who want to help their kids cope with anxiety and depression, which normally leads to suicide,
watching for any change in their day-to-day functioning, has their hygiene or eating or sleeping routines changed? And if so, monitoring that.
Bill Burns, director of the Counseling Center at NDSU, says between October and November, their resources are more needed on campus for students. And while there are crisis hours and a 24-hour counselor on call for suicide assistance, he and Heitkamp believe that the fight must continue if we want to see change in our communities. Joseph Ojo, Valley News Live.
Some advice from experts includes being aware of resources, and if you're having suicidal thoughts, they advise you to stay away from drugs and alcohol. We have more information on our website, valleynewslive.com. Just click on this story. And if you're struggling with suicidal thoughts, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline phone number is right there on your screen, 1-800-273-8255. The morning commute in Moorhead may be a little congested for some, with more road closures scheduled to begin tomorrow. At 8 a.m., 7th Street between Center Avenue and 1st Avenue North will be closed for maintenance work. That road closure will be in place for about 2 days. The road will reopen by the morning of Thursday, September 13th, weather permitting. Golf is one of the oldest, most traditional sports to play, and one company is looking to revolutionize the game in Grand Forks by being the first drone delivery system in the United States. The drone will deliver food and drinks to golfers at Kings Walk Golf Course in Grand Forks.
It's a great opportunity to bring efficiency to something that's been going on for a long time. You know, the milk run route for beverage delivery is not efficient.
Shover says the drone delivery system will be cheaper than using a beverage cart. It'll be launched this Saturday, delivering food and beverages to one location on the course.